me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ah, good. So hopefully you don't lose me. I keep getting a message on the computer saying that our connection is unstable, but if you lose me, I'll head up to the house.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joe.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on board. The Vashti Grinder Company is something that I've had my eye on ever since I got into blacksmithing, and to have you to sit here face to face with you is absolutely amazing. Some of the faces that I've actually got to sit face to face with today is just absolutely mind-boggling to me that we're doing this. I'm so glad to be a part of this community. I'm so glad to
Absolutely.
have you on board.
Yeah, I spent this morning. I was at the drafting table most of the morning, and then when I had you help me get online, it had me wishing I would have been on a little bit sooner. But me and tech just don't get along.
Well, there's a side of you that I believe technology is on your favor, because you're producing some of the best 2x72 belt grinders that are out there right now.
Thank you.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your design process. How did you get into designing a 2x72 belt grinder right from the get-go?
A brief history, I guess, or I'll try to make it brief. It was about 12 years ago that my son and I started getting interested in flipper folders in general, I guess. Specifically the Alan Elishewitz lineup of blades. And I was working, I've always been in fabrication in one way or another. And try to think of it here, but oh my Lord, amateur drafting is what I've always been into, and it's what I've always really, really liked. And I put the two and two together. And at the time I was on the archery talk forums, talking to a bunch of other guys that were like-minded and really enjoyed knife making. And I found a design there with a fellow forum member, and he allowed me to use it, and we went from there. I made 2 grinders. They weren't fantastic at all. They were floor models, mobile floor models, but they worked. You had to step on the pedestal in the front. They were made way too light, but they were made well. If you stepped on the front pedestal, the thing would just deliver all day. And it kind of went from there. I was put through a welding course. I worked for a power transmission and hydraulics outfit, Century Vallon at the time, that went through many names while I was there. 6 years I was there. And went from Strongco to Titan Supply to Century Vallon, and then eventually to Alpha Design is where I ended up in fabrication. But Century Vallon actually put me through a welding course, and it all kind of snowballed from there. We always wanted to start something home-based, and grinders are just what kept coming into my mind. And here we are. we took a risk full-time almost 5 years ago. We're coming up on 5 years now. And wasn't much of a risk. It went really well right from the start, I'm not gonna lie. And but we improved on the design that I borrowed at the time from that friend of mine on Archery Talk, and I just kept improving on it. We ended up with the H series, is what we started off with, and it's still one of our best sellers, absolutely. We went to the P series, which turned into the Rift and the Shift without getting too far into it, but we're still improving. We use mainly water jet for our plates. We just prefer it. We do some plasma cutting, but we prefer the water jet. There's no hardening of the steel. It's just a lot easier to produce, and we far more control over dimension for sure. And we've got our attachments are made the exact same way. All of our attachments are water jet. We just recently started getting into laser jet with Laser Fab out of Alberta. Those guys are fantastic. They just the most excellent people to work with, truly. And they helped up our game this year exponentially. We have far more coming from them too. Currently, we're with the LaserJet. We're producing our arms, our attachment arms, and some of the attachment components, but mainly the arms. And the precision is just incredible. We're happy with them and improving on that.
Are all of your units VFD driven, or do you have pulley systems on your?
We the Rift and the Shift are both. The Rift is exclusively a C-frame mount chassis, where the Shift has a removable C-frame, so it can be used with a step pulley system for people who don't have a C-frame motor and want to use their existing motor. It can be taken off and used as the H series with the motor placed behind the chassis and run that way. There's lots of room.
Oh, a little bit choppy.
Joe, we might have lost you. Uh-oh.
Got some comments out here from Ernie saying best Canadian grinders out there, and Mark Benoit saying he bought his from Vashti as well. I
Awesome.
don't know if anybody's following Mark Benoit, but he's been posting on Canadian Blacksmiths quite a bit lately. He's been making some really nice hammers and some tongs, and he's been supplying people with those. If I'm not mistaken, Rick, did you get one from him? I think. No. Okay, so you just got a hammer from DK Smalls. That's who you got a hammer from, right? Absolutely loving that thing, I bet. Hey. Oh yeah. So I'm not too sure what's happened with Joe. I guess his internet connection has gone down, and he did kind of give us a little bit of a warning that that was a possibility, being where he was in his shop.
He did. That is a nice hammer.
It was nice to be able to see his product there, and he was just about to start going into it, I think. But
yeah. Well, he said when at the beginning that if he had connection issues, he was going to run into the house to get closer to his Wi-Fi. So maybe that's what's going on. Let me show you the prizes that we've got for tomorrow. I guess whoever wants to start tonight can start tonight after all the rules are revealed. But I'm just going to screen share here and show you guys what we've got from Thompson Metals and Pritchell and Hardy. So Thompson and Metals has 3 prizes that they shared with us. A piece of CRV 80 CRV2, 1075, 15N20, and 1084. So you can work on some mono seal blades or try banging out some Damascus. So that's coming out from Thompson Metals. Pritchell and Hardy are supplying with 2 canisters of 1090 powder. And I think they have all the spec sheets with them as well. So you can nerd out on that steel all you want. And I think like Niels had mentioned this morning, you want to look at that information straight from the manufacturer to see how to do your heat treatment and get the best performance out of that steel as possible. And also from Pritchell and Hardy, we have a few. Is there 1 kit of belts or maybe 2? Oh yeah, Cindy's given us the 2 fingers. So we've got some belts going out as well. And of course, a bit of swag too. We've got some hats coming up from them. And yeah, another supporter is the Center for Crafts. They're helping us offset and the costs being able to use their Zoom, and they're helping us pay for T-shirts to say thank you to the presenters and hopefully sell a couple too, right, Lyndon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 extra shirts that people have been messaging me like crazy. They want one.
Nice.
So I'm guessing with the amount of excitement that there is over getting some shirts, we're probably going to be looking into printing some more of them for this year's event.
Awesome.
We didn't do any for last year's event, so these will be the first Manitoba Blacksmith Guild t-shirts on the market.
Yeah.
We did a limited supply run right now, so they're first come, first serve. If you would like a t-shirt, I haven't checked my email to ensure that I even have any left, but if you would like to try to get on the list, email me ASAP, abstractblacksmith@gmail.com or Manitoba Blacksmith Guild @gmail.com. Either of those, I will be going off of a time basis. So if I have to, if I've got two people that, one email before the other, I got to kind of base it off of what time I got that email off of. So
nice. Well, I just saw Steve I want one, and then his signal died, so I'm guessing he's writing an email to you right now. But I see that Joe's back. I think he's in his house now. Let's get him back into the spotlight.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody.
Hey, give us a chance to plug our sponsors again, and I'm stoked that you got these T-shirts done too, Lyndon. I ended up designing the logo for last year's ManIron and this year's ManIron, or not ManIron. Yep. And it's cool to see it on a product like that. So
just a quick note on that. If anybody is questioning the ManIron thing, we did have somebody question that before. ManIron is short form for Manitoba Iron. It's not a masculine thing whatsoever. We're not like that around here. We're very inclusive.
That's why the little Manitoba outline is in the logo this year.
By all means, please do not think we are a man-based group. We are very inclusive, and we're open to any and every possibility of whatever you
identify
come from, your denomination in the world, wherever you're from, outside, wherever you are from in the world or wherever you are from in here, we're open to you. We welcome you. With that being said, I'll shut up now and let Joe talk, maybe.
Awesome. Thanks, Lyndon. Let's go back to Joe. And I need to ask Joe to unmute, I think. All right. I'm looking for the button.
Rick Marchand says he's saving up for a Vashti. You got to have goals. That's a
there we go.
To have, man. It's a damn good goal.
Awesome. Who's saving up for Vashti?
Rick Marchand.
Nice.
If you don't know who Rick Marchand is, then you ate from Canada. It's possible you're not even from North America. Everybody, what? Right. Hands down for Rick Marchand. Bow down.
Sorry about that, guys. I was hoping to be able to keep doing it in the shop, but for some reason today we've had to reset our internet. The signal's strong, but I think it's with our provider.
Blame the weather.
Yeah, we're gonna blame it today for sure. Sorry about that. But yes, a little more on the C-frames. I'm not sure how much of that you got before we lost our connection, but the Shift has a removable C-frame that allows it to be used with step pulleys, or it can be used as a direct drive, and the Strive does as well. And the H doesn't have a C-frame mount. It's just the bare chassis and gets you going.
Okay. So what is a C-frame mount exactly? Can you explain that?
The C-frame mount allows you to directly mount your motor to the chassis, and 4 bolts gets you going. It's kind of nice. we like it here. There's a lot of guys are split on how to mount your VFD. We mount ours directly to the machine simply because we just find it's easier, far easier.
Cool. And with your units, is there different tooling that you can get with your, like different size wheels and all sorts of that kind of stuff that you supply?
Yes, standard. Typically we use the aluminum wheels that with the 5-inch drive wheel and a 4-inch tracking wheel. You can get pretty much any bore size on the drive wheel, although we supply tech top motors and they're 5/8, but we have been getting them in 7/8 and 1/2 inch also. And we just now started in with Delrin wheels. So we've got our own grinders in the shop right now using them. Two of them are set up with the Delrin wheels, and we're just abusing the snot out of them, and they're holding up. They're holding up really, really well.
If somebody was to purchase one of your grinders, is there some sort of warranty that comes along with the grinder package?
Yeah, basically, so long as if anything happens on the manufacturer of the grinder, and we'll simply address it, pure and simple. We don't mess around. It's not worth it. We're not we're not particularly interested in seeing anybody go through any kind of downtime. So we do what we can to get you up and running as fast as we possibly can.
Cool. We got Corey Cox from Winnipeg. Corey Cox lives actually not too far down the street from me. He's a local Manitoba Blacksmith Guild member. He's telling me that he's got 4 entries into the punk draw for the Vashti grinder giveaway on Facebook and Instagram.
That's great.
If I don't win one, he's going to purchase one anyways. So just take his name out of the list. That way my name's still in there on top of it.
That's awesome. Right on. Well, thank you for that, and good luck. It's something that we absolutely love doing here. Sam and I, I'm not gonna lie, we're like kids at Christmas, just watching the entire giveaway unfold. It's so much fun for us. Last year we did we did an H2S on the last giveaway, and this year we were super happy to be able to do the punk. And the punk is not a grinder that we typically make. It was just a lot of fun that Caleb and I had. We had some spare strive parts, and we built it basically to put it on the bench and abuse the living snot out of it. But when we put it together, we just thought we just can't. It's too nice. I don't want to see it get abused. We got a rift in there that's taking a kicking right now. So we'll keep kicking that one around.
You got a newbie that comes into the market looking for a 2x72, and he's not sure what he's getting into. He wants to spend money, but he doesn't want to spend money. He wants to make sure he's getting a quality product. Are you going to push him to go towards a VFD unit or a belt-driven unit?
No, it's there's not a whole lot of we don't get into a whole lot of the belt drives or the step pulleys, although we do go through it all. We let them know that the H and the strive and the shift all can be run that way if they have an existing motor and they don't want to spend money on another motor or simply can't. We do explain that all to them. There's options. C-frame is nice. C-frame is it's definitely convenient, but it's certainly not necessary. We're not into it to try and push them towards something that we don't feel is going to fit them. We just won't.
Do you work with anybody directly on supplying belts with your grinders, or anybody that you recommend? I know there's Fritchel and Hardy's not far from you. They're rather new to the market, though. I don't know if you've had a chance to sit down with her.
Not yet. No, we haven't. To be honest, we haven't had a whole lot of time to spend on belts. We set up with the Mexi. That was last year. It was, yeah, last year, about a year ago. And we've had really good luck with them. Unfortunately, right now, anything coming to us from Quebec is extremely slow, super, super slow. and the belts are great. They work. Some of them are not so good. Just to put that out there, Caleb and I are not entirely pleased with the 36 or the 50, and not with performance, but on it's the way the seams are put together. So we're dealing with that right now. But overall, when you get the good belts, they're great. We've used VSM for the longest time, and we swapped over to a Mexi because they were willing to play with us. And we're going to keep using them. We'll just keep addressing it. So far, they've been really, really good. Their customer service is top shelf, and we'll see if we can work it out. If we can't, we'll look for an alternative for sure.
Oh, well, I think that from their point or their standpoint, they've done a very smart thing by reaching out to somebody like yourself to test their products and help improve their products. That was a smart move for sure. Hopefully you can help them on that.
Yeah, we still use them. We haven't gone back to VSM, although we still have some old stock that we're using up. And the VSM is just a great belt. It really is. But the Amexi is definitely comparable. They're just that seam issue doesn't make me happy. I mean, people get belts, and we try to get the straight ones out the door, but you get that odd one that's got a little bit of a hop in it. And to anybody who has had them with a hop, I mean, if you warm them up at high speed, even for a minute and a half, 2 minutes at the very most, they straighten out. But that's not the point. They shouldn't be like that.
Oh, I think Cindy over there is smiling a little bit because she carries VSM belts and she stands by that product.
Oh yeah, VSM is great belts. I've used them for years. I mean, it is what it is. They're just an outstanding belt for sure.
You're located just outside of Kelowna, or not Kelowna, Kamloops, right?
Yes, we're about 30 minutes out.
Nice. That's you're probably near Sun Peaks then, is that right?
We're close enough. Yeah, I guess. About an hour.
Nice. Might have to stop by and pay you a visit one of these days. I'm out there.
Definitely. We've got we'll be moving into a bigger commercial shop in the spring. We were hoping to do it this fall, and it just didn't happen for many reasons, but it's still going to happen, much larger than what we're in now. We're still going to stay set up here though. The shop that we're currently in, we're going to set up for more walk-in traffic, and Caleb and I've been working in there. Just everything's getting redone. The walls, the ceiling, everything. We're setting up for more video. Next year is we have far more coming. I know I spoke to you about it a little bit earlier yesterday, I believe it was, and I wish I could go into detail. We're so excited about what's happening, but it'll be worth the wait, I promise.
I let you steal.
I honestly, I wish I could. I really wish I could. Cheryl knows I wish I could, but I can't.
Oh, there's definitely some exciting stuff to be looking from when it comes to you guys in the near future here. Like I said, I'll keep my lips sealed, but the one thing that I definitely want to reiterate is there's some exciting stuff coming from you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. The videos thing, I can't. I'm looking forward to that. That's a good thing for sure. That'll help.
You guys are teasing us. Jeez.
Oh, it's all teaser, buddy. It's all teaser.
We've been doing it all day about the judging, about the contest. So we've got a couple questions in the chat function here. We've got a question. Firstly, is there any chance that Vashti would be making any more punks?
Caleb and I threw that one around actually, and I think we're going to come up with a happy medium, and there's a few of the grinders have gone out there, the H series that has a nut welded into the chassis, and for those of you that have them, this is the first time I've said this. We are coming up with a C-frame mount plate similar to the Strive and the Shift that'll allow you to put a C-frame mount plate on an H and the balance isn't perfect. It's not perfect, and we pride ourselves on our horizontal bases, but I can go into that more afterwards. It's not a perfect balance, but it's definitely close, very, very close. Still no harmonics, no vibration, no nothing.
Nice.
But we did throw that around, and we've been building them into the H series chassis. So if you recently purchased an H, have a look. If you've got a nut welded in and they look into the chassis and you're wondering what that's for, that's what that's for.
Cool. And another question we had come up was regarding the use of motors at 120 volt and 220 volt. Yeah. So the question is, if you're running at a 1 horsepower at 120 volts,
yep,
compared to 1 horsepower at 220, is there any advantages to that?
Definitely, absolutely. 1 horsepower is it works great if you're doing stock removal. I certainly wouldn't suggest it if you're working on forged steel, and some of you know that. It'll work if you finesse it, but who wants to do that? If you want it to work well, 220 is definitely the way to go. You get a power loss or a horsepower loss on 110, and you do need good amperage to that 110 plug-in. But absolutely, it's anything on 220 is going to run far better. We're running both right now. We've got the shift. Our shift is on a 110, 1 horsepower. It works great. It works all day, but it doesn't do anything rough. And where the Rift is actually, it's also on 110, but it'll at 2 horsepower, it's got no issues, 0.
Right. And I've heard that as far as energy consumption, is there a difference there between the 110 and 220?
I honestly don't know. Admittedly, I'm not an electrician, but I don't know. I don't look at the bills for 1 and 2. We run them. We try to run them as best we can. If it wasn't running great on 110, we certainly would change it to 220. But we don't run much on 220 right now, mainly because we do have the renovation going on in the shop, and it's just not handy at the moment. But we will get them back on there eventually.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I think that covers the questions from the chat. So I'm gonna jump back to Lyndon.
Okay.
Because he asks good questions all the time.
Yeah. What size of motor do you generally recommend to people?
We have all of them available to us, but on our website we have the 1 horsepower and 2 horsepower listed, and the 2 horsepower is a great way to go. If you have 220 in your shop and you want something that's just going to deliver all day long, 2 horsepower is great. The forged steel, as you can throw ugly steel through it, you can throw, the finest steel through it, and it's just going to deliver all day.
Nice. I hear a lot of guys saying they want to go with 3 horsepower or more.
Yep.
That's overkill?
I don't know that it's overkill. I've had the chance to try both, and truthfully, I don't find much of a difference between either one of them. I really don't. If you have a 3 horsepower and it's working for you, definitely keep going. We don't list them on the website, but they're available, and we have sold the VFDs to match other guys' 3 horsepowers for sure.
Do you sell the VFDs as a single standalone unit if somebody wants to buy a VFD from you?
Yeah, we do. And we advertise on the combinations. TechTop has been absolutely massive for us. And Phil at TechTop Canada in Burnaby has just he's fantastic. We advertise that we'll meet or beat anything. How do you say that? Equivalent? Yeah, like an equivalent. Anything that will meet or will meet or beat any advertised price on the combinations we currently sell. We can't be beat. It won't. Burnaby's made sure of that.
Nice.
Good. Yeah. We have a couple more questions. So Corey Cox, he's the one that mentioned before that he was gonna buy one if you didn't win one. He
Yeah.
wants to know the differences between the Rift and the Shift.
The Rift and the Shift are almost the same. Geometry is identical. We found out, we did a little poll here on our own group page a little while ago that kind of surprised me. Caleb and I were talking about it. Caleb prefers the Shift and I prefer the Rift. So we did a poll on what guys are preferring on the traditional style handle, whether it's upright like the Rift is or traditional. And it was traditional, hands down. But to answer your question, the Shift is basically a traditional handled Rift, and it also has the ability, you can take the C-frame mount off and you can run it with your existing motor and drive. If you don't have a motor that matches up to the C-frame mount, it uses the exact same tracking. It's got a simplified lockout system, but it does have a tension lockout, which we're super stoked about. We love them, absolutely love them, whether it's the Rift or the Shift. It's just so much faster. And the Shift currently is offered in a fixed base only, but we do have the horizontal base this close to being released.
Cool. Nice. And the second question was regarding attachments for your grinders, if you're looking at possibly manufacturing surface grinder attachments or any other things like that.
Right. The surface grinder attachments we're not making as an attachment. We do have a standalone model that we're hoping to release soon. Excuse me, it went under revision about 3 months ago, only simply for the patent that we have, the patent application that we're making against that. Because it's a provisional patent, we want to try and nail it on the first go around. So on the second go around, there's just no issues. And with that, we have one more adjustment to build into it before we're happy with it. And then we'll go ahead with the application. Once we have the application back, it will be released. But it too will be available with a 1 horsepower or 2 horsepower combination. We tested it on the 1 horsepower and the 2, and really I wouldn't spend the money on the 2 because the 1 is doing it. Nice. Especially with the Tech Top. The Tech Top 1 horsepower coupled with the 24D, it's doing it all. But we do have it coming. We have it coming. Keep your eyes open. Sam's going to be reworking all of the photos actually on the website. It's not a small task by any means, but he's really good at what he does. So we'll leave him to it. And we are going to put photos of some of the stuff that we have. For example, our fuller attachment. We love that thing, absolutely love it. But we're still quite a ways away from getting the rubber rollers that we need to run with it. I personally bought my own set from USA Knife Maker some time ago, and we machined them to work with our holder, and it's just absolutely fantastic. But we are going after contact wheels as well as the rubber rollers for the fuller attachment. So it's not a small task that we're taking on, but we're definitely going to do it. We may start off with only an 8 or a 10-inch contact wheel to begin with, just to keep our costs down, or 10 and 12, I'm not sure, but we're going after it as well as the rollers, and we're going to do it all in one shot so we can release it. That being said, all of the photos are getting updated on the website, and we are going to list it. We're just going to list it as not currently available, but it's coming.
Has anyone designed any sort of portable cart for a 2x72 that you would recommend?
Honestly, no. I seen one that I really, really liked, but I don't remember what group page it was on. I saved photos of it, but the thing was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I would love to learn more about it. But we do get asked about it from time to time, especially when people are asking for the footprints and stuff, and while they're waiting for their grinders to be made. So it's something we're going to address. Hopefully, come out with something of our own. It would be I think that would be a welcome addition. And as you know, we've got new stuff coming up that would hugely benefit a new stand for sure.
Do you ever get anybody asking you when they're buying your grinders? You know, they buy the grinder and they kind of come to you afterwards and go, so I don't even know how to use this thing. I want to get into making knives, and I know I needed to get one of these things, but how do I use it?
Right. From time to time, yeah, we do get it. We always suggest the different different makers and stuff that we watch on Instagram and Facebook, because they can explain stuff. I'm horrible in the explanation department for sure. I just don't have what it takes to be an instructor. I don't think I can think it better than I can verbalize it for sure. But yeah, we do get that from time to time. I try to answer them as best I can, but I think that would be better handled by one of the other guys. I wish it was better handled by one of the other guys. But Caleb wanted to be here today. Oh, sorry.
What kind of or which makers would you be recommending to people to check out in regards to learning those different techniques?
I've been recommending the questions that I get that I have a hard time answering are usually the forging questions. And I know that Dave Lakeman is Dave Lakeman's on our group page, and I know I send a ton of people his way simply because he's really, really good at explaining things. And I mean simply too, where I lock up, I can't do it. I don't have what it takes. You heard me trying to explain our combinations there a little while ago. I'm not very good at it.
Takes practice, man. It's everything gets better with practice, right? The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we're setting up the shop to do more video with the grinders. And I mean, we want to get right into detail too with the attachments, because we know they can be a little bit confusing. And especially with the new tool arms that we have, we did decide to go with the primary tool arm or one slot on the chassis. And we did that for a reason, but it's really hard to explain unless you have better photos, which Sam's going to take care of all the different setups, the attachments in horizontal and vertical. But we want to put that into video, whether I stutter or not. I mean, it has to be done. So that's what we're working on. And we're going to try and upload some of the best of it onto the website. The website's going to undergo a big change here soon. It's big.
Awesome. Rick Marchand asks if you have any consideration into making a dust shroud.
Making a which, sorry?
A dust shroud.
Oh, yes, actually we do. Our dust collection system in the shop is mediocre at best because we use the exhaust fans and of course all the respirators and stuff. But we do have an integral rear dust collection system off of the drive wheel. We're not making it integral to the chassis themselves. We're making it removable, but we are incorporating it for the guys that really want to get involved with their dust collection. And I mean, I understand some guys are working in really small work spots. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely going to be a plus. We're doing it more as a, I don't know that you call it dust collection, but more of a spark guard, so it doesn't hit the back wall, because that rift can throw sparks like mad, absolutely mad. And I mean, we have metal walls in the shop, but a lot of guys aren't going to have the metal walls. And even with the spark guards that we do have in place, it's nice to have that extra one that's going to save your wall from getting a little warm. That being said, in that same attachment, we're designing one right now with a plenum, so you can run it off of all of the standard shop vac connections and run it into water if you like.
Nice. Looks like you're happy with that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to be happy with that too. Like Caleb and I do a bit of titanium, and that stuff, as everybody knows, can be a little dangerous with sparks flying all over the place.
Yeah, so you guys make your own knives then, I guess? Are you're still making your own knives nowadays, or?
We haven't had time, but yeah, we're working towards getting back to that. So in the beginning, it was kind of funny because we started under Vashti Tactical Design, which is myself for bladesmithing. We started selling the grinders under that. We got a lot of guys going, that was exactly what I needed, was a tactical grinder. And I mean, we understand that, so we just simplified it to Vashti Grinders under the same name. But yeah, we're definitely trying to get back to that.
So you keep on bringing up it's Calum and Sam, right? That work with you?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is that your boys or?
But yes, Calum is my son and Sam is my son-in-law. Calum works with me full time in the shop. Today, unfortunately, he had some stuff that he had to do, take care of his vehicle to get it all ready for winter, and Sam is off today. But yeah, Sam and Beth both take care of the social media end of things because I'm not that guy. And in all honesty, I get in trouble for some of the stuff I say on there, so I just leave them to it. But yes, Calum works side by side with me in the shop full time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Your friend Christopher Ash, is that?
Yep.
He's bugging you. When you getting that merch and swag back? I'm not buying grinder until it's back.
To be honest, the last set of shirts that we bought were absolutely, I loved them. The way they were set up, I loved them. I thought they were going to be huge. I couldn't wait to give them out. But I threw one on and I went into the shop and I prepped. I think I was working on platen brackets, just dressing them up, and my shirt came back full of metal. So it was not something that I really wanted to sell to the guys. So we've been giving them away. They were a poly cotton blend. I'm learning this as I go also, but that's bad. So we've got some better shirts coming for sure. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah. And the hats we've always got some.
Nice. It's all available on your website.
It is. Yep. The shirts will be posted once Beth gets that all taken care of with shirts that aren't going to melt. Yeah, definitely. They'll be on there too.
Nice. Christopher's also wondering, and actually so am I. I just saw that you posted you and your son did your compound bows. You did a nice hydro dip on them the other day.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Did you put the bows to work yet, or?
Not quite yet. We just haven't had a lot of time lately. We've been going nonstop. Fall is always just crazy around here. But yeah, those were projects that we were working on. We've been waiting for the parts to come in. That was the first time we hydro dipped, and we're just having a blast with them. It's so nice to be able to get our projects finished up. And excuse me, with fall here, it's just the time to do that for sure. But interestingly enough, some guys I know this, but a lot of them don't. Years ago, if anybody's familiar with the company Area 5150, that was a collaboration between myself and good friends. We patented a compound bow and used it on the same lever lip. And it turned into, Richard Vance turned it into Gulf Coast Archery. And they're closed now, but he ran it for years with the bow cam that we patented. That was the first thing we ever patented. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
So you've been a busy man your whole life then, eh?
Basically, yeah. Yeah, we're always into something. I don't know what it is, but I don't think I'd be one of those guys that couldn't. I couldn't see myself being that guy.
Oh, Rick's taking off, says it's his anniversary. Thanks for joining us, Rick. Have a good anniversary, bud. Did you go to school for design or anything like that? What kind of background do you have in that?
The background is, like I said, I'm an amateur draftsman, but I did take a course in college it was roughly about 6 months, but it was supposed to be 3 months of computer drafting and 3 months of traditional, and I just furthered the traditional afterwards. I couldn't catch on to the computer drafting. Even to this day, I don't do my own CAD and SolidWorks. That's all done by Sam and Sam and Jake cipher all of my chicken scratch. And yeah, they use the programs to proof the models, et cetera, et cetera. And Sam's definitely catching me up on it, though. I'm learning AutoCAD right now. Very, very little of it right now, but I am learning.
Is Sam well versed in traditional theories as well, or is he just an AutoCAD guy?
He's it's kind of funny because when you work with somebody, even for a short period of time, he starts to understand what I don't, and I'm starting to understand what he doesn't. So we work quick that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, go ahead.
definitely a lot of fun. Sorry.
I work with a lot of engineers, and it seems like nowadays it's a very common thing for them to not have any sort of traditional drafting experience whatsoever. If anything, if I'm not mistaken, they've actually cut traditional drafting out of the university engineering program nowadays.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I went to get supplies here a little while ago, and try and find traditional drafting tools is almost impossible. And it's definitely going the way of AutoCAD. And I've been wanting to do it for so long, but we just literally have no time, zero time to learn. Sam's been kind of I mean, we have family get-togethers, and he throws it in there and gets me on the computer. So I'm starting to get an understanding for it.
Do you know? Are you guys using actual AutoCAD, or what program are you guys using?
Yeah, we're using AutoCAD and SolidWorks.
SolidWorks, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, SolidWorks is really good. For anybody that's interested in AutoCAD, there's Fusion 360 is a really great and cheap tool that you can get into to get into doing any sort of drafting, computer drafting. But
right.
When you get into computer drafting, if you don't have any traditional drafting background whatsoever, there's so many mistakes that I see them all the time with the drafting, because the guys just don't have that technical knowledge that you really should have when it comes to drafting. So I personally think that the way you're going about it now, where you learn the technicals, or the old school way, and now you're going into the new school way, that's the way to do it. Unfortunately, kids aren't getting that nowadays, but you do.
Oh yeah, we're still doing it that way. I think I'm going to just keep doing it that way until, I don't know, the day comes that where I just can't anymore. But there's just something to be said about the light table. I love going through it manually. I really do. And then Sam either proofs or sends it off for revision for sure. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love seeing it come together. The light table lets me see it in real time before AutoCAD starts to light it up on any of the models.
Great. Cool. What was that? Is that a ship?
No idea.
Ship in the background?
I have no idea. I've got my phone set up right now on a set of small wheel holder, or the rollers for a small wheel holder. I think it's vibrating off that.
Can you see the ocean from your house, or what?
No. Rattlesnakes and sagebrush where we are.
Oh wait, that mistaken. I forgot. Yeah, we're not talking to Lauren anymore. Duh. But on Vancouver Island, you're north of Kamloops. Yeah. Rattlesnakes, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Mountains. Nice mountains around you.
Is there mountains around you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're kind of near the summit here on the highway, the Surrey Lake Summit on the Coquihalla between Merritt and Kamloops. But nice. yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Where we live looks like a ski village. Pardon?
You're south of Kamloops then?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Nice. Beautiful area. Absolutely love it there.
Yeah, it's we've got family on both sides, family in Merritt, family in Kamloops, and we're directly in the middle.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Been there your whole life?
No, I was born in Merritt, and I was raised in Timmins, Ontario until 91. I came back, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you for leaving Timmins.
I know, I didn't want to say that out loud, but yeah, definitely. So I go back to visit from time to time, and my parents say, you got to come back. Don't move back there. Yeah, I pointed out that nobody moves to Timmins.
No. I grew up in Flin Flon. It's Same thing. Once you get out of there, you run and you never go back.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, Joe, from the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild, we want to say thank you very much for coming in and sharing your wealth of knowledge and sharing with us all the features on the Vashti grinders. And look forward to hearing back from you and these juicy secrets that we keep hearing about.
Not for very long.
Soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The good news is our year kind of tends to roll over beginning in September, and usually by November we have everything ready for 2021. And I'm more than just a little excited to get this out there. We've done something that hasn't been done yet.
Nice. Oh.
Ooh, never been
Hasn't
done.
been done yet. It's a first, and you've seen it here. You heard it here, I should say.
Nice.
My snowboarding soul just got excited. Never been done's are always the best.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're excited. It's we've always been about the bladesmith. It's going to stay that way until we're no longer Vashti, but that's not going to happen anytime soon for sure.
We're going forever.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great. Well, you guys heard it there from Joe McKenna from Vashti Grinders, a knife maker himself from the soul. He's building some of the best belt grinders that you can get, if not the best belt grinder you can get, Canadian made. So if you're Canada, you don't have a choice. You got to buy one of these things. If you're not from Canada, step up your game. Buy a better belt grinder. Get one from Joe McKenna at Vashti Grinders.
Enter the giveaway.
Oh, yeah, don't forget, Joe McKenna, Facebook, Instagram. Right now there's a giveaway contest. Go and like and share and comment on his posts for a chance to win a Vashti grinder. What model is it that you've got up for giveaway?
This is the Punk. This is the one between the Strive and the H2S. You won't go wrong.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome. I'm going to introduce the next two presenters. We've got on the bench right now, we've got Britt Barnes and Billy Salyers, who are both Forge and Fire contestants.